All right, let's see. Is this thing on? Check, 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 check. Okay, good. Hello, Stephen Hawkins. Let's see, what about this other shot? 1 second here. Check, 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 check. No, let's try this. Go here, check, 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 check. We'll go here. Check, 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 check. No, that doesn't work. Okay. Let's go real quickly. Bear with me just a second. Had a last minute thought on audio. Holy cow. Audio, triggers, on transition in, audio, on. How about just audio? Here we'll say audio on. And it's going to be the boom mic. Where's the boom mic? Boom mic. Yep. On transition in, audio off. And that's the desktop mic. All right, let's try it. Check 1, 2. That's the desktop mic. Desktop mic. Desktop mic. Awesome. Awesome. And that should be desktop mic as well. Yeah. All right. Woohoo. Darn. That was a close one. All right. Let's see. We're getting up on quarter till here. I guess I've got the time right there. And it has been a while since we've done a show. Holy cow. Yeah. So what kind of, we've got really a delay. $20, 34 seconds, 30, let's see, 53, 50. So 35 seconds. We've probably got it set up that way because we are streaming and recording in 4K. Why? Not so bad. And Steve Hawkins, that may be why your buffering is because we're doing 4K. You might be able to reduce your resolution on your phone down to, say, maybe 480. I know I don't have a good signal with my phone all the time at this location. So yeah, there's a, let's see, we'll look it up here. So we'll go to YouTube. There's a person at my side door. Don't care about that. Let's go to my channel. And here is me. And yeah, there is me right there. And in the top right-hand corner of my Android is the opportunity to change the resolution. And this one's set for auto at 480p. If I click that, I can select higher picture quality or data saver, which will give me a lower picture quality. So I'm going to select data saver, and I'm still at 480p. Oh, I can select a particular resolution if I go, let's see, go back to the start, and if I go to quality and then advanced, I can set a specific resolution, which in this case I'm setting 144. Yeah. And it's really kind of fuzzy. But I can also go back and let's see how high it'll let me go on the phone. Higher picture quality. 1440. That's pretty good. There we go. That looks really clear, but that would eat up my data plan. That's crystal clear. Holy cow. So let's go back and say data saver. Was it going to jump back? Yeah, no. Data saver was 1450. So let's go back to specific resolution. We'll send it back to 480. Because 480 on a phone, anything higher than 480 on a phone is wasted. So, and there'll be some intricate details when we get over to the studio area that it'll be worth having a, 480 or better. But, for right now, just talking head kind of stuff, even 144 is acceptable, I think, because number one, it won't eat up all your data, and number two, if you're in an iffy area, it might support 144, but it might not support 480. Steve says sound is good. Good, thank you. No buffering anymore. It's good now. Yeah, we're using a. Let me pull it up here. We're using a plugin called NS1 Stereo, which is from Waves Audio, and it's a NS for noise suppressor. And I've got a PC sitting right here next to me on a server rack. There's just one of those is on right now, and it takes out that noise. The mic I'm using is a Audio Technica, not a high-end brand, but if it works, it works. An AT 897, and it's about a 6-inch shotgun mic, and I really like it. I've got 3 of them, and I just whenever I find one cheap somewhere, I buy it and put it on the shelf in case one I've got already one that I may already have breaks. So it's always nice to have good audio. In this case, it's the Audio Technica going in a suspended mount. I wish I could put a camera on it right now, but I can't. To my Behringer UMC 404 HD, which is an audio interface connected to the PC via USB and actually powered via USB, and it stays on 24/7. I've had it on for years. I couldn't tell you the last time I had it turned off. Probably the last time I reorganized my studio, which has been at least a year and a half. So the mic stays on all the time. The Behringer stays on all the time. The PC stays on all the time, so that if I need to get remote access to it, I can. And then over in the studio per se, the studio, I've got the same mic, and then the overhead cam is a PTZ Optics 4X. What do they call that? I guess it's called a variable, a VL, variable lens. So it's got about like 1X to 4X zoom, and then manual zoom, manual focus. And so I use that for the overhead shot today. And then the side shot of me over there is going to be with the new Bird Dog P120, which is a 20X PTZ camera. So yeah, there you go. That's more than you wanted to know. And we're talking about unboxing, so go figure. And here's the box. It's huge. It's mammoth, yes. And it's kind of silly. I guess I'm poking fun at unboxing videos. Don't we all? Don't we all poke fun at unboxing videos? But I also have an envelope here from Ace Hardware. You think, Ace Hardware, what could he possibly be having this envelope from Ace Hardware that would apply to us today? Well, the stuff in the Ace Hardware bag goes with the stuff in the box. And it comes under the category of life-saving devices in the streaming world. That's right. It'll save your life. It'll save, it saved my life more than once. Hello, Chris, you handsome young man. Glad you're here today. You're up mighty early. What is it, 4 or 5 o'clock? New Zealand time? Holy cow. We have our favorite Kiwi in the house. Actually, it's probably our only Kiwi that I know. Yep, thinking about planning a trip down your way sometime. Yeah, just have to bring my laptop and my desktop and my other desktop and 15 cameras. No, it wouldn't be like that. It would not be like that. So it is September now here in the deep south in the USA. And we can't tell the difference. It's still hot as blue blazes. And it will be for, till the end of October. Then it'll begin to mediate a little bit. We don't have the lovely fall seasons that many of you do, where the leaves on the trees turn brilliant colors. Down here, they just turn brown and fall off. That's when we switch from summer to winter. It's kind of interesting, that kind of winter thing. So, yeah. So, let's see. So, Chris says that I've got my time zones wrong. It's almost 7 a.m. his time. Okay, well, there you go. It's almost 2 p.m. my time, but the show is at 3 Eastern, because I figure everybody knows what Eastern time is. And a lot of people may not know what Central time is, which is what I'm on, Central time. So I just promote everything as Eastern time and let you make the adjustment. So 7 a.m. and it's 2 p.m. here. That's 9 hours difference. 9 hours difference. All right, so your day, is that right? Did I do the math right? 5? No, it's 7 hours difference. Duh. 7 to 12 is 5, and then 2 more to 2 is 7. So there you go. Welcome from Sweden. Yeah, I've seen some of the photography of your country, and it's just stunning, just stunning. And I understand there's a train that runs through the country. That's probably what I would do as a tourist, is take the train. 9 p.m. Oh my gosh! So I've got Chris in Australia, that's 7 hours behind me. Is that right? What day is it for you, Chris? Is it Thursday already? And then, and I'm going to mispronounce this, but I'm going to try it. Is it Hakan? Where it's 9 p.m., who is 7 hours ahead of me. So that, I think that means Chris is really 14 hours ahead of me, because it's Thursday there. That's right. So it's 7 a.m. Thursday in New Zealand. It's 9 p.m. Wednesday in Sweden. And it's 2 p.m. almost Wednesday in the afternoon in Alabama. And yeah. So Wendy's, I love your Frosties, by the way. What is your favorite 4-channel SDI capture card? Well, assuming that it's HD SDI and that there's no space between the D and the I, just checking there. And I would say it depends on, thank you, very good. It depends on your budget. There are things I like about the Blackmagic. That would be the Decklink Duo 2, 4 channels of HD SDI, but it also can be bidirectional, not simultaneously, but either or. So that's a big plus. I like the Magewell card. Magewell is rock solid. Rich Ignacio, who does the jet ski racing, has used one of theirs in a box I built for him. I don't know how many years he used it. It was so many years. And jet skis, that's the ocean and lakes and rivers, and so you're always around water. And his was getting corroded, was getting rusty on the inside. And I think one of the connectors came loose as a result. And he sent it back to Magewell, and they fixed it for $50. It was out of warranty, no doubt. And they fixed it for $50 and sent it back to him. So you can't beat that. That's great service. I dropped a Decklink Duo 2 card one time here in the studio, and one of the little resistors broke off. And I sent it back to Blackmagic and asked them if they could fix it. It was, it was not a warranty repair. I dropped it. I broke it. I mean, I said, I was honest with him. I said, I dropped this and this part fell off. And I thought about soldering it back on, but I didn't think that was a good idea. Can you fix it? And they wrote me back and they said, no, we can't fix it, but we'll send you a new one. Really? Well, that's cool. And then UON makes a 4-port SDI card that's a little different from the Blackmagic card, which I think in some ways makes it better, although maybe not as versatile. The Blackmagic card has that little programmable chip on it, which runs hot, so they had to put the fan on it. The UON card doesn't have the programmable chip. It is whatever it is what it is. I mean, so the Blackmagic can update their firmware, to fix bugs or make changes and enable features, etc. The UON card is what it is. It's 4 ports SDI in, but it's less expensive, and it doesn't create as much heat. So kind of depending on what your needs are, kind of depends on what the card is. So far as favorite, I like the Blackmagic because it has the dual functionality. So that's probably the part that I would make me favor that. Having said that, I don't use SDI in my studio. I'm using it today for one little part of what we're doing, but typically I'm using NDI. Hello, Tim, from Florida's East Coast. Does Florida have an East Coast? I thought you were on Florida's South Coast. North-South Coast. Wait, if Tom is sending live now, when is he going to Amsterdam? I'm not going to Amsterdam this year. Unhappy face. Nope, we're not going this time. Not going this time. Oh, here's a good question. Any suggestions how to change transition for replay using scripting? Want one stinger for live replays, and in the halftime, another stinger for highlights. Well, let's just see. Let me do a quick check here and see if there is a shortcut. I'm sure there is a scripting way to do it, but I just want to see if there's a shortcut that would allow us the function in overlays. Preview, set, view, multi-overlay. No. How about in replay? I don't think there's a way to do it in replay, but let's check. Replay. That's all. Replay events. No. Well, let's just see what it says about Stinger. Stinger. Okay, function is Stinger1. What does that do? What does that mean? Stinger1. I don't know. That's a good question. There is a Facebook group on vMix scripting. You may want to join and chat with them about that. Yep. I'm with you. It's just easier in so many ways. Tim has moved to the east coast of Florida. Where is New Smyrna compared to Palm Bay? Because I've got my son in Palm Bay. Yes. It is a bummer. And I couldn't find the obvious one. Okay, well let's get this sucker on the road here, shall we? This show on the road. We have a button for that. We have right here in the studio, we have the world's oldest. No, it's probably not the world's oldest. Should have gotten it signed. Doggone it. This is an X-Keys XK80 that I have from NAB 2018. I'm trying to think. That Dan gave me when they were packing up, and he came over from his booth. He said, "Here, why don't you take this home with you?" They had used it in their booth, and I guess he just didn't want to pack it. Now, it didn't look like this. That is my handiwork. Yes, like no other control surface you've ever seen. But it works for me. All right, here we go. Let's get the show on the road. We'll hit one of the pink buttons. We're here. We're glad you're here. I'm Tom Sinclair. Says it right there. That's how I know. At my age, you just never know with that kind of stuff. It's like, what? Who am I? Oh, yeah, there it is right there on the screen. And this is Streaming Idiots. I know it because it says it right there on the screen. And I'm not sure where that will take you. Somebody wants to check it and tell me. I'd appreciate it. So, delighted to have you with me today. Delighted for me to be with you. How does that go? Anyway, delighted that we're all here together. How about that? Sorry about last week. Just couldn't put it together last week. And today's show is going to be another underwhelming show. So maybe you were better off last week. I'm not sure. But not going to IBC. Sorry for those of you that were expecting me there. Didn't make it this time. Maybe next year. Maybe Sandy and I can go next year. We'll have to see. It just didn't work out for this year. So not doing that. Yeah, not doing that. But we'll be cheering for all of you that are. And I hope you have a wonderful time. I do. I hope you have a wonderful time. It'll be great. And hopefully I can see some live video or some recorded video from some of your favorite booths at IBC. Would love to see that. And we'll post it in the Streaming Idiots group, or you can post it in the Streaming Idiots group for your visits to IBC. If you're not a member of the Streaming Idiots group, I would invite you. That's on Facebook. Just do a Facebook search for Streaming Idiots and ask to join. We don't take everybody. I mean, if you just say, "Hey, I want to join," you're probably not going to get taken. But if you answer the questions about, do you live stream? What do you do to live stream? Give us your email address. It's more just to kind of hold the group accountable, is why we ask for an email address We're not even recording it. We don't care. We just want people to feel like they're being held to account, and so we get good people. We don't have a lot of nastiness going on. We don't have any nastiness going on, and so anyway, it's a great little group, and they know a ton of stuff. So today's show, we got to get the right attitude going here, Tom. Ready? Today's show. Well, that was a little too much. Today's show is going to be an unboxing, and it is going to be the most underwhelming unboxing you've ever seen. Product is from Antec, although there's a competitor out there called Hailu or something like that that's making almost exactly the same thing. In fact, it may be the same company. The instructions are in Chinese, and they were loosely translated into English. But let's, so we've got Antec on the front, and this is a model number B08S2RWY9F. And this is can you see that if I put that up there? Probably not. Anyway, just Google it. And this is, we'll open the box. And this is like the world's easiest unboxing video because that's it. It's one piece and the instructions are on the box. I think that's pretty smart right there. Put the instructions on the box. That way you never lose them unless, of course, you throw the box away. And it actually says on the box, instruction book. How about that? And then right below it in Chinese, it says book of instruction. So there we go. So this little guy right here, which just happened to come in a Ziploc storage bag that has a hole in it for breathing. We've got 3 different pieces. We've got this bracket, and you're like, Tom, what is it? Just tell us what it is. Hold on, be patient. And then we have 2 extra self-adhesive pads. So we've got sticky stuff on this side, and if you peel off the red side, it's sticky on that. We'll get to that in just a second. This little guy, some of you may already know, it's got 2 little sticky things on the ends here, so you can stick it to something. And then this little bracket adjusts up and down. Let's see if we can make it go up and down. There we go. Kind of like Jaws. And this will clamp on your what is it called? Your video card, if your video card is mounted horizontally in a mid-tower case. So this would sit down at the bottom and would come up and grab the card. The card would be like this. Grab the card, and then you crank down on this. And this is stuck, whoops, a little tighter. And this is stuck down so the card can't sag. The important thing for me is the sag too, but we build a lot of systems with a lot of high-end capture cards, video cards, sorry. And these suckers are expensive and they're heavy. And I made the mistake one time, well, maybe more than once, of putting it in the case. The 2080s weren't as heavy. The 30 series is heavier. I guess because they're generating a lot more heat, and so they've got bigger heat sinks and all that stuff. So, and we actually had a card come loose in the case in shipping. That was horror. And they sent it back, and we replaced the card and replaced the motherboard because the motherboard got popped when the card came out. So what I'm going to show you today is how to, now that we've unboxed it, now that we've done the hard part, I'm going to show you how to install that. Jan says it's a good little bracket. It is a good little bracket, and it's essential. But one of the weaknesses in this little bracket is these. Now, let me go back. For its intended purpose in going in a mid-tower case, affixed to the bottom of the case, and then capturing the video card right there and keeping it from sagging with weight down here, these little pads are perfect. They provide just enough stability so the card kind of stays where it is as you get it pinned in, and then gravity takes over after that. But in a shipping situation, gravity is whatever way the box happens to be oriented. So if you are going to be shipping something, and for those of you building PCs and are going to be shipping them to a customer and using a 3080 or 3090 or even a 3070, some of those are pretty big. I'd say even a 3060. Let's go over to the studio over there because I've got a setup there. So we're going to put this, hang on, let's see if we can do this. All right, there we go. That's better. That's better. Had the gain turned down. So we'll explain that all over again. Welcome to the PC, where everything inside is black, including our little bracket. Black bracket, black water cooler, black motherboard, black RAM, black M.2s, black power supply, black cables, and a black disk drive cage, which we don't use for disk drives in this situation, but we are going to use it as a base to mount our support on. So this little guy is going to fit in there, and he doesn't fit very well from this angle. I have to kind of take things apart to get him to fit, but that's okay. And then we will mount this guy on top of him, but you can see, I don't know if you can see or not, but let's see, let me put it back underneath there. You can see there are all these kind of raised and lowered areas right here. So the little pads don't really get a very firm grip. So we're going to pull out, and I showed you this, but now I'm really going to show it to you. We're going to pull out and we're going to drill holes in this guy right there. And then I made a trip to the hardware store earlier and had some stainless steel nuts and bolts and washers to hold this guy down firm. So what we also have here is a mammoth. I mean, look at the size of this box. And this is not, I didn't intend for this to be unboxing, but this box is not yet open, so we're gonna have to open it. I carry this in my pocket everywhere I go, except when I fly. They won't let me, for some reason, they won't let me carry a razor knife on a plane. Probably just as well. Okay, so let's get into this box. And we've got that box we can set aside. Now we have another box that's the exact same size. And let's get that open. There we go. And now we've got some goodies there we'll put in our other box. We really want, we've got some cables here we can throw to the side. And the pièce de résistance. The card. And this rascal weighs, I'd say about 6 pounds. That's what it feels like. And we've got 4 ports here on the end. An HDMI and 3 display ports. And then this particular card doesn't have a lot of glossy plastic on it, so it doesn't have anything we get to peel off. Generally, that's pretty fun. Not even the little fan covers here don't have plastic on them. So this guy is going to sit down inside here, we hope. Maybe he's not. Let's see. Yep. We're going to have to get a different card. This one is just a tad too long. So, hang on. Let's see what we got in the storeroom. Don't go anywhere. I'll be right back. Okay. Different 3080 Ti. And let's take a second and put this one back. Didn't check the specs on this close enough, I guess. And it's just a tad long for this particular application, but we'll use him in a different application. I've got a system coming up for somebody locally, so we can use it in that. So let's set that guy aside. We'll come back to this guy, and we will get him open. I am reluctant to do a bunch of drilling on the show. Partially because I don't drill inside the studio. I do it outside, so I don't have metal shavings everywhere. And I couldn't figure out a way quickly and easily to get that. Oh, look at this. Nice little finger holes right there. Okay. So, pull that out. And it's a little different kind of box. Let's put it over here where we can see, but everything is black, of course. And a nice long invitation from MSI. Oh, look at this. Comes with its own bracket. We may have to experiment with that one. And then the video card. And let's see how we're going to do on length here. I might have to make some adjustments if this one doesn't fit. Yeah, there we go. Let's pull off that first. Go ahead and take these guys out. And this is set up the same way. 3 display ports and 1 HDMI port. And this is set up with all kind of matte finish, so there's no plastic to pull out. 2 8-pin power connectors. And that's pretty slick. This is an MSI version of the 3080 Ti. And that's going to drop down in here pretty nicely. Boom, right there. And that gives us about maybe ½ an inch of clearance right there between the fans for the liquid cooling and for the card. So we're going to plug in power, obviously. Get that out of the way for the moment. And then we've got enough room here where we can get the bracket. And this is not the way the bracket was intended to be used, but that's okay. It works. We're going to let the bracket sit on the top and grab the card here and then be attached to the top of the disc cage there. So we'll get that oriented the way we want. It will be attached there, so nothing is going to move, especially not in shipping. It's not going to move up and down. It's not going to move out because it's locked in. And so that is the plan. That is the plan. So that's the unboxing. Why did you do that? Let's go back over to the desk. I'll be right back. And a big thank you to Jan to call about the audio. Unboxings are my least favorite videos in the whole world. Unless it's something that I've longed for and haven't been able to find and would like to see somebody else hold it in their hand, I'm generally not interested. But this is a neat little product. I keep a bunch of these on hand. And yeah, it's a good solution to a problem. Good solution to a problem. So if you're in that situation, that's the solution you need. And then you need to run down to your local Ace Hardware, not a sponsor, and pick up some stainless steel nuts and bolts and washers. Why stainless steel? I don't want to use aluminum, number one, and I don't want to use something that might corrode, just because it wouldn't look pretty if for no other reason. So yeah, there we go. There we go. So that's that's it. That's the best I've got today. Isn't that funny? You know, back in July we celebrated 10 years of doing this show, and it's like I think after 10 years I'm beginning to run out of material. So you're going to have to help me on that one. Give me some ideas. So yeah, that's it. That's it. So we're going to head over to the chat here in the post show and answer some questions and have some chats. Hang around, stay with us. We'll be right back. Well, okay. So, you know, it was really funny. funny story about setting this up today. I was so careful about getting the trigger set up so that it would turn off this mic here and turn on that mic there when I switched the camera from this camera shot here at the desk to that camera shot over there in the studio. And I tested them. In fact, if you were here for the pre-show at the very, very, very beginning, I mean, right at the very beginning, I was checking those. And I was checking here to see in vMix if the little light didn't come on for the, what is that little light called? I'm going to mouse over it and it'll tell me what it's called. The toggle on or off audio for this input. Yeah, the little speaker light on the input on the mic. And I want to make sure, that one of them was on. And then when I switched, they would go like this. And they did. What I didn't realize is that I was playing with something last week and I had turned the gain down. Whoa, let's do that right now. On channel 2. Because Tim at vMix had told me that the NS1 noise filter, sometimes if it doesn't hear any noise to filter out, it will just start filling in with white noise of its own. I guess it turns up the gain is what it does. And so I was using just this mic last week, and so I didn't want any extra noise. So I just turned I turned channel 2, which is the studio, turned the gain way down. And as you know, I forgot to turn it back up. So here is the lovely comments. So there was, and actually, this is one of these situations where even a warning from vMix saying, low audio or something like that, I wouldn't have seen it because I'm looking here. The studio's over there. I've got a monitor in the studio there, and that monitor shows me whatever's in output. I should have a better multi-view there. So many thanks to Jan, who was the caller during the show. He's calling me during the show from, where were you? From Sweden? And calling me to say, hey, dude, you don't have any audio. So there you go. So glad you guys can have a good little chat amongst yourselves. Yeah. So we are in the post show. That's right. We are in the post show, Stephen Hawking. So when is IBC? Let's check that real quick here. IBC 2022 dates is 9th through the 12th. So that's Friday, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, Friday through Monday. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Yeah, 4 days. All right. The world's most inspiring content and technology event. You visited this page 3 times. Last visit was 9/25/19. Wow. That was probably the last time they held one. Well, I hope you guys will make full reports of what you see. And that way we can make sure that everybody else can get a little idea of what IBC is gonna do. So Martin says, this is why you need the NDI no audio meter, because it can control external lights, which could be rigged in different parts of the studio. Ah, it could control the external lights and have a little light that came on that says, Tom, you're an idiot. That would be the best. Oh, that's great. So it's, okay, I'll look at that. Jan said, I had to call you. I had to get your attention. I had to make you look somehow. So thank you. It's always nice to have people that look after you. It's like, helping that little old man across the street. Because you don't want him to fall in the traffic. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Yep. Yep. Wow. I hope it's a spectacularly wonderful event. And I hope you can do some bowling. The Apple Show made me miss. It made me do it. Oh my gosh. No problem. You probably had a better show over there. So it'd be interesting to see if IBC really has anything new for the streaming world. The last time we were there in 2019, vMix was releasing version, was it 24? Or 23? It was when they were releasing their SRT function. So that was a pretty big deal for some people. And yeah, yep. So what Martin is talking about is the NDI no audio meter, which can drive a cheap external relay, which can switch anything from a low voltage LED up to mains powered lighting. So there we go. Well, Jan, it sounds like you need the NDI no audio meter switched, connected to a cheap external relay, which can switch anything from a, hey, you're an idiot light. I need to try that. Martin, I was asking for an idea for a show, so I'm going to have to Google a external relay and probably get one from Amazon or eBay or someplace like that. Yeah. Steve says he's a new subscriber. Our condolences. And was looking at your past videos. More condolences. And I saw one about portable PC cases with a built-in screen and keyboard. Do you still make them? Yes and no. We don't make them, but we purchase, well, there are two different ways. We purchase cases that have the screen built into them. In fact, just shipped one yesterday to a great client in Las Vegas. Well, you guys know Scott and Nick, the hosts for the Streaming Idiots meetup at NAB every year. They hosted it in their studio in Las Vegas this past spring. And they said, Tom, we need a portable PC. We're so tired of lugging this thing. So, okay. So, yeah. So we had one that we bought on spec from China, brand new, lightweight, a lot of plastic in it, maybe a little more than I would like, but it had a handle, had a screen, had a built-in audio interface, PC audio interface. So you could plug in a couple of XLR mics, a couple of 1/4-inch mics. That's pretty cool. Pretty expensive case. It's about $1,000 retail. The other option is there's a company out in California, and I think probably backed up by a Chinese company called, oh golly, they're called Acme Portable, ACME, Acme Portable. And Acme has a portable case that is, you know, like an aircraft aluminum chassis and clad with metal on all different sides to protect. The keyboard folds down and has a trackpad and a keyboard in it, and then it unveils the screen. And those are about $2,500 for the case. My cost, $2,500 for the case. But last year, the year before, 2 years ago now, I found somebody that was selling used versions of the Acme portable machine on eBay. And I bought every one they had, and in fact went out to previous sellers who had them and bought whatever they had. So I bought like a dozen of these systems. Some of them were working, some of them weren't, but I just wanted the case, and have successfully, happily, rebuilt several of those into portable PCs that are used in, you know, sporting venues, hockey rinks, football stadiums, and rodeo rinks. Yeah. And so, yeah, that was fun. And I've got one, two, three. I've got about a half a dozen. So I've used about half of the stock that I bought, and I have about half of the stock left. And what I would do is take all the outside components off, it wasn't bulletproof metal, but it was high grade. I guess no, it's the outside components are not aluminum; they must be steel, and they were powder coated, and so but they were some, you know, had dents in them and scratches in them, and so I worked to get the dents and scratches out, and then set up a powder coating booth and powder coated them. So you can have, if you want one, you can have it any color you want. You just send me the color codes, and we'll you know, I think there are 24 different pieces that get powder coated. And the only thing that doesn't get powder coated are the keys on the keyboard, of course, and the connecting wire between the keyboard and the PC. But there is a super slimline DVD player that it's a plastic bezel, and so we didn't. Obviously, you can't powder coat that because you have to heat it up to 400 degrees, and I'm not sure what would happen to the plastic at 400 degrees. Anyway, be that as it may, yes, we can do that. Steve, if you are interested in either the case or having us build something for you in the case and have it the color of your choice. They are custom, so they're not on our website per se. I think I've probably got a picture of one somewhere. Let's see if we can find a picture of it real quickly. Hold on. Well, I guess I could just go get it off the wherever it is. Yeah, there it is. So that's what the case looks like when we've refurbished it. The actual keyboard would be the same color as the rest of the PC. The business end there on the left end doesn't get powder coated because there are too many built-in portions. And then you can see in the background a second PC that has not been powder coated, but it's a pretty slick little outfit. Now, I would also mention that it's built. It's very sturdy, so it's heavy. I'd say that sucker probably weighs 30 pounds, maybe. Yep. So there we go. So Jan, if you want me to send you just the case, we can work out a deal. I saw that too. Those are pricey. They sure are. Andrew, they do make a multi-monitor version. Check the Acme Portable website, and there's another company too. Doesn't come to mind, but if you do a Google search for, I think, Lunchbox PCs or Lunchbox PC cases or portable PC cases, you'll get the kind, and they have extendable wings that come out. In fact, I think there's also a company that makes those for a laptop, where they'll attach to the screen of the laptop and pop a monitor out on either side. And depending on what your connections are, I know USB is not preferred, but some of them have DisplayPort and HDMI. So there is that. The multi-monitor versions are 12, 15 grand, something like that. This version right here, the last one of these we sold, was about 7 or 8 thousand, and that was pretty well decked out. Pretty well decked out. Yeah. Yep. Who was it? Ken Benedict bought just one of the cases, and I mean, not even powder coated. He said, "Just send me the case." And the case and the case still have all the guts in them. So they got the power supply and the motherboard and the CPU and the RAM and the some of them have capture cards and video cards, and I've left those in there, number one, to remind me how everything fits together, but number two, if you want to just buy the case, you can you can see how everything fits in there when you take it apart. Make sure you take lots of pictures. For example, the power supply is a really skinny, non-standard power supply. I've only been able to find it from one vendor, but it's been a while since I've looked. I went ahead and bought a bunch of them and put them on the shelf, so I've got those covered. So yeah, that was pretty cool. That was pretty cool. Well, guys, we're gonna get this show off the road, as they say, and always appreciate supporting comments from our adoring fans. Yeah. So there we go. So thanks to you guys for watching. We will we see you next week? We will see you next week. Appreciate y'all. Bye now. Eastern Shore Broadcasting.